Welcome to Summerslam preview kickoff. Well, we're going to be talking picks, potential returns. We'll get you caught up on what's going to be happening um, as we get closer to the pre-show kickoff that WWE will have. And it will be a 3-hour show that they will put on. So I decided to come on ahead of time and kind of give you a little bit of a preview, maybe something that they won't mention. My name is David Lawson. You can catch me on YouTube as David Brown Lawson. TikTok as the American Hoochie Man. Catch me on X Twitter and on Facebook, Instagram. Christ is alive with grace. 2023, I believe it is. Well, anyway, welcome to the preview kickoff. Summerslam 24 is going to be epic, according to Triple H, Paul Levesque. And if you're just joining me, I am here for the SummerSlam. I'm kind of doing both stuff right now. I'm looking and seeing what we got going on here. Trying to find the live events on other. Here we go. So we are live. Trying to find it live on here. I don't seem to be finding it. But it does say we're live. We are live. We should be on YouTube. So let's see what we got here. SummerSlam. See what we got here. I am on YouTube. And we are live. SummerSlam kickoff. Preview. With David. So I'm not sure why. I was only supposed to be live. Supposed to be live stream. And we were here, Summerslam. Summerslam. So, okay, let's get with it now. I know I'm on here somewhere, but I'm live. It's showing that I'm live, so that's why I'm trying to check. It's okay. Let's get with it. We've had time. So what we're going to do, let me find my notes. Okay, here's what. We're going to take a look at what's going to happen tonight. Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. United States Champion, I'm sorry, Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. United States Champion Logan Paul versus LA Knight. WWE Women's Champion Bayley versus Nia Jax. And Women's World Champion Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. Then we got Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we got probably the main event. If Roman Reigns is going to come out there and do something, and whoever else is going to show up, undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa in a bloodline rules that was accepted yesterday from Cody Rhodes. And will Roman Reigns prevent Solo Sikoa from winning the championship? Not because he likes Cody Rhodes, but because Solo Sikoa took over the tribal chief role and called him out and do something about it. So I expect tonight Roman Reigns shows up with some of his people. And don't be surprised if The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, shows up. The final boss. He might even show up. Gonna be a lot of going on in that match. Don't know what's going to happen. And also, DraftKings has the odds of that, betting odds. I'll get to you with that later on. But we have about 45 minutes before the pre-show of the WWE uh, kickoff that they have. And this is going to last 3 hours, not mine that I'm having on now, Mine will go up until probably right before 4 o'clock, and then we'll all go over to that side and watch uh, the pre-show. Actually, the pre-show is free, but once 7 o'clock hits, you better be subscribed to the Peacock or to WWE network, or you will not be able to get it or have find some way to stream it. But I'm going to give you some things that are going to happen. As you know, CM Punk to battle Drew McIntyre with special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. So let's go to the preview and go over it. And we will do, we'll start from the bottom. You can go over there too on the WWE site and follow me. So here we go. Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. The Intercontinental title will be on the line when Sami Zayn defends his championship against the dangerous Braun Breaker. He is actually the son of he's actually Scott Steiner's nephew, and he is. I was trying to think of it. Oh no, now the Steiner brothers. Maybe you can help me out here. Steiner brothers. Looking it up here. Oh, Rick and Scott Steiner, and Braun Breaker is Rick's son, and Braun Breaker father is Rick Steiner. Remember the Steiner brothers, the famous Steiner brothers, and they're bringing him up really nice. But anyway, since dethroning Gunther at WrestleMania 40, Zayn has not seen a more dangerous opponent than Braun Breaker at all, who has terrorized Monday Night Raw since being drafted from NXT. Which only seems right because Braun Breaker belongs on the main stage. Zayn conquered Breaker at WWE Money in the Bank in Toronto, but Braun Breaker said he wasn't ready. As a matter of fact, he said he took Sami Zayn lightly, but he won't do it this time. But the badass didn't relent in his attacks and has speared the champion at every turn, compelling Zayn to once again put his title on the line. So the question is, can Zayn prove that he's the better man or better superstar, or will Breaker capture his first gold since joining the main event roster by beating the crap out of Sami Zayn? And will he exactly unleash his wrath, kind of like Goldberg did when he was here, or whenever Ryback was here? When the coach can name a lot of stars. Oh, don't forget, don't forget, Paul Heyman's, who was the advocate. I forgot, who was he? Who was he? Can you name him? I'll get back to that in a minute. Anyway, but tune in to SummerSlam tonight. Find out. I'll give you my predictions on what I think. I was 2 of 5 last time. It was crazy in Toronto, but I expect a lot more titles to change hands on this go around. But could Cody lose his title tonight? We'll find out. But anyway, Cody Rhodes will probably be in the main event. So next we'll go to the United States Champion Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Logan Paul versus LA Knight. How about it? At SummerSlam, LA Knight will challenge Logan Paul for the United States champion. Yeah. And Knight has been a thorn in the side of Paul for some time, even going to the title holder's house. So one main pool party. And as animosity increased during several encounters on SmackDown, Knight pinned the U.S. champion during a Money in the Bank triple threat qualifying match after getting an assist from New York Knicks star player Jalen Brunson, resulting in a title fight being scheduled for SummerSlam. That's right, and Money in the Bank. Knight pinned Logan Paul, the famous YouTube superstar, and his brother, the famous Jacob Paul, of a UFC fighter. But anyway, who will walk out of the biggest event of the SummerSlam with the Star Spangled Championship? We will find out tonight, and I'll give you my pick on that one also later on. All right, the next one, WWE Women's Champion Bayley versus Nia Jax. Bayley will defend the Women's Championship against the 2024 Queen of the Ring winner, Nia Jax. Since dethroning Io Sky at WrestleMania 40, Bayley has enjoyed a successful run as champion and babyface run, most recently retaining her title against Piper Niven at WWE Clash at the Castle in Scotland. So Jack dominated the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament, punctuating it with a win over Lara Vaquera in the finals and the securing a championship opportunity at SummerSlam against Bayley tonight. Both superstars are now set to battle, but Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton is looming after implying that the WWE Women's title is in the ones that she's eyeing. So this one's going to be an interesting match. You got Tiffany Stratton with the briefcase, and she's supposed to be friends with Nia Jax. But is she going to cash it in on Bayley or her friend Nia Jax? Well, it all depends. If Nia Jax wins, they're both going to be tired. So it's going to be a worn out. Someone's going to be the missing link, I might say. Could it be Bayley? Could it be Nia Jax? Or will she even cash it in or wait? She can wait. She don't have to do it tonight. But I'll give you my thought on that one later on too, okay? So can Bayley overcome the arguably her greatest challenge against the dangerous Jack? We'll find out tonight. And now we'll move up to the next one. How about Women's World Champion Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley? Rhea Ripley has come back. She wants her title back. She says she did not lose her belt. She relinquished it. Well, she did. But Liv Morgan got the belt in a tournament that they had. But at SummerSlam, Rhea looks to begin her own revenge tour against the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. But after the Nightmare injured Morgan and put her out of the action for nearly a year, Morgan came back in a way in 2024, embarking on her Liv Morgan Revenge Tour now. Her first stop was injuring Ripley and forcing Miami to relinquish her Women's World title. And with Ripley out of picture, Morgan defeated Becky Lynch to win the Women's World title before turning her attention to Dirty Dominic Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day. So Morgan's influence as part of her revenge tour, allowed Finn Balor and JD McDuggan to become world tag team champions, and she slowly corrupted the Mysterio by putting him in the compromising positions and kissing him on several occasions. And on July the 8th episode, Raw, Mysterio and Morgan were once again seen in a compromising spot before both were shocked at the arrival of Ripley. So with the Nightmare back, her gaze is solely focused on regaining the title she never lost. So can Ripley take back the Women's World title tonight from Morgan? And how much of a factor will Dirty Dom play in the match? We know that Dominic Mysterio is going to have some role in this. So will she cause Liv Morgan to lose it to Rhea Ripley, or will Dominic cause Rhea Ripley to lose by distracting her and cause Liv Morgan to win? And I believe this is going to play out for some time. And then again, I will give you my thoughts and picks on that later on. So let's move on. Let us move on to CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with special guest referee, Seth freaking Rollins. You know his role in this is for the sole purpose of distracting both of them. But which one will he decide to put over? You know, he's there for a reason. Who does Seth freaking Rollins dislike the most? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre? And it seems as though Drew McIntyre has been screwed enough. And do you think CM Punk will screw CM Punk? Seth freaking Rollins will screw CM Punk? We don't know. We'll find out tonight, and I'll give you my thoughts on it a little bit later. But CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with special guest star referee Seth freaking Rollins. And I'll let you my thoughts on this later on in my pick. So let's move on to the next one. World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest versus Gunther. So in 2024 King of the Ring winner Gunther will challenge World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest at Summerslam. So you think it's time that Damian Priest give up that belt? I think Gunther can do that. He's very, very agile and very strong. But since Damian Priest more than likely is turning babyface, but I'll give you my thoughts on that one later too. But the ring general's opponent was in question from the moment Gunther won the King of the Ring tournament and became King of the Ring, like Nia Jax became Queen of the Ring. But as Priest has defended his title against the likes of Drew McIntyre and Seth freaking Rollins, and even survived a Money in the Bank cash in from the Scottish Warrior, Priest nevertheless defeated his challengers and now puts his title on the line against one of the best in Gunther. Whether you like Gunther or not, he is really, really good. And Gunther in a first time title match against Damian Priest. So as Intercontinental Champion, Gunther enjoyed a record of 666 days reign before being defeated by Sami Zayn. Since he lost to Zayn, Gunther has steamrolled his competition, even defeating Randy Orton in the King of the Ring finals. So Priest has endured an impressive reign since cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on McIntyre at WrestleMania 40, but with the help of CM Punk coming in and screwing McIntyre out of his when he should have beaten Damian Priest. But the archery of Infinite grip on the top has been tenuous, however. But as the Judgment Day have been recently experiencing some turmoil, expecting them to kind of break up. I think Damian Priest will go his way, and so we see the Judgment Day have recently experienced the turmoil, but we see the highlighted by Women's World Champion Liv Morgan's information with Dirty Dominic Mysterio. But will Priest slay another dragon, or will Gunther become the next World Heavyweight Champion? I'll give you my thoughts on that later on. So now we come to the supposedly main event, more than likely. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and on Bloodline rules. Solo Sikoa, self-proclaimed tribal chief. So, as expected, everybody's expected Roman Reigns to show up tonight. And Solo Sikoa has called him out and told him to do something about it. He's not going to hide. So we'll find out tonight if Roman Reigns shows up, which I believe he will, but he won't be by himself. I guarantee you that. Uh, he'll have some others with him, but who will we have? We have Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso. We have that new guy that they signed, Hakilia, however you pronounce his name. Anyway, Solo Sikoa is about to return the undisputed WWE champion to the bloodline, but the new tribal chief challenges Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. So when Roman Reigns took a leave after losing the undisputed WWE title to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, Sikoa took the mantle of tribal chief and made significant changes to the deadly factions. But after brutalizing his brother Jimmy Uso and brutalizing Paul Heyman, brutalizing Randy Orton, brutalizing Kevin Owens, every person they've done, they brutalized them, and then called out Roman Reigns to do something about it. So Sikoa then secured a new enforcer in the form of ultra destructive Jacob Fatu. And they just recently, Jacob Fatu and his Tamatonga have both just recently yesterday at SmackDown won the World Tag Team Championships from DIY. So Rhodes agreed and proposed a match himself in a face-to-face solo for a bloodline match. He agreed to it. He agreed to that bloodline match and said that he's not losing that belt. So he knows something that we don't know, and evidently that Solo Sikoa don't know. But Rhodes agreed and proposed a match, and we'll find out tonight what happens. And I'll give you my thoughts on that in a little bit. So that goes to the end of the preview of all that's going to go on tonight. And I can't give you any details, but I can let you know that it's going to be an epic night tonight. It'll probably equal WrestleMania that was up earlier in the year. And Roman Reigns returns, more than likely. But who else will return? How about Brock Lesnar? Will he return tonight? There's been speculations that he's going to be returning. Could Roman Reigns bring Brock Lesnar with him with Paul Heyman? Who knows? This is going to be a crazy night tonight, and it all starts at 4 o'clock with the pre-show, which will be coming up shortly in about 20 minutes. And so I'm going to get ready to end this by giving you the betting odds on this one. Then I'll give you my prediction. So the betting odds has Drew McIntyre a minus 175 to CM Punk plus 135. So they have Drew McIntyre beating CM Punk, and they have Cody Rhodes a minus 5,000 to Solo Sikoa's plus 1,200, which means that Cody Rhodes on the betting odds is the favorite to win. Then you have Damian Priest versus Gunther. Gunther is favored a minus 500 to Damian Priest plus 300. This was pretty close. So, but they're still projected Gunther to win. Then, and now this is DraftKings. This ain't my picks. Okay, this is DraftKings betting odds. Then we have Bailey a plus 130 versus Nia Jax a minus 170, which means Nia Jax is the favorite to win. Then we have Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Betting odds has Liv Morgan retaining her title a minus 600 to Ripley's plus 350. So they're thinking Liv Morgan will retain it. More than likely with some help from Dom. Then we have Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Very interesting. But no surprise here. They have Braun Breaker as the favorite, a minus 5,000 to plus 1,200. That's a big. So they don't expect Braun Breaker to have any trouble with Sami Zayn in this match. Then the final match that they have with the betting odds is Logan Paul, which is a plus 275 versus LA Knight, a minus 450. LA Knight is projected as the favorite to win that match. So your winners: Drew McIntyre, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Braun Breaker, Cody Rhodes with whatever the cost is, of him doing that. And then we have L.A. Knight and Gunther. So these are the betting odds. So, and I don't disagree with neither one of those, except for the Bailey versus Nia Jax. I think that Bailey's going to retain her belt on the cash-in attempt that fails, and Bailey will retain it. That would be the only change. So all the others, I agree with. So that would be the only one that I would change. It will be this one right here with the Bailey versus Nia Jax, and we'll see how that goes. So here you had it from me, David Lawson, the preview kickoff. And so be sure to tune in at the top of the hour for the WWE pre-show kickoff that lasted 3 hours. 3 hours. Wow. What are they going to talk about? Who are they going to interview? What's going to happen? And something must going to happen in those 3 hours for them to have a 3 hour pre-show. So I'm anxious to see what happens there. So this will restream. You'll be seeing that on YouTube, and thank y'all for joining me. We will see you next time. Actually, this will be the last uh, wrestling show that I do because of football season. So you'll be seeing me switching over the platform to the ACC football big time picks, and you'll also see the Speaking Deacon show. I'll be doing a whole lot of that instead of the big time picks. And be sure to watch for my big time picks on Facebook and on Twitter, X, because I'll be doing that one to give you my preseason ACC picks. ACC media poll has already come out, which they project um, Florida State and Clemson. I disagree with those picks, and I'll give you mine. But anyway, this is what's going on tonight in wrestling. Y'all have a good night, and that ends this one. So jump on over in about 15 minutes to the pre-show 3 hours of WWE. That'll be coming on at 4 o'clock Eastern time, whatever time zone you're in. Hour difference in the Central, 3 hour difference in the Pacific, and Mountain Time, 2 hour difference. But here in the East Coast, where I'm at, it's 4 o'clock Eastern time. So this has been the SummerSlam 24 kickoff preview. David Lawson is your host. You have a good night. Enjoy SummerSlam. It's going to be a crazy ride.